What's going on, everybody? My name's Spence,
And I'm Mitch.
and we're two brothers that really love King of the Hill. And today we're on episode 6. And this one, I gotta say, it's incredible. It might be one of my all-time favorites, but I'm really excited to review it.
It's a fantastic episode. As I like to mention, if you're like me and my brother, we watched them when we were kids and we watched them again as we were adults and hit completely differently
Oh,
as a child versus as an adult.
100%. And it's almost horrifying, both from a child's perspective and a bit as an adult perspective, too.
100%.
In this episode, we, of course, are talking all about constipation. To explore it so deeply and so intimately, and as such a serious health issue, was definitely ahead of the curve.
And it's also, I think, a really good look into marriage as well.
It shows how you end up both caring about each other over such simple things, right? And how simple things can mean a whole lot to you when you're married.
And your spouse's health means more to you than your own.
That's another great point. Yeah, that a lot of the times you end up focusing more on your spouse and making sure that they're taken care of and ignoring yourself.
And any good husband is guilty of that.
This episode, especially as a kid, really made an impact. In fact, such an impact that I remember even having nightmares about some of the scenes in this episode, and then worrying about what if my dad got constipation and he potentially died and stuff like that.
I was a little bit younger when I first watched it, and I thought that's what happened to you when you died, is you flushed into the ground.
Then, as an adult watching this, it makes me want to watch my diet more and take care of myself better.
Yeah, there's a lot of great reminders in this episode as to why it's important to take care of yourself.
100%. We get to see a little bit of that Texas diet, which is all meat and sauce for meat, and then maybe some cheese.
Very little fiber.
Very little fiber. I think it's uncool for Peggy to tell everybody about the fact that Hank's constipated. She really didn't need to do that.
She just couldn't help herself.
Yeah, and then we have the great scene where Boomhauer and some random woman he's with tries to give Hank advice about it.
Hey, Hank. You know, I've been thinking about y'all and y'all dang old bottom and all what's gonna get moving again. I think y'all ought to go jogging and swimming in the water bunch, man. They're gonna be bad having you pooping just like you used to, man. I know it's gonna work.
It helped my aunt after her pregnancy.
I don't know you, do I?
No, you don't.
The artwork is different on Alamo beer cans in season 1 than the rest of the seasons.
Oh, shit. I didn't even notice that. This guy freaked me out. I don't know what about the way he looks, but he looks super intense. This is out of control. Like, why would Nancy on television wish Hank help with constipation? That is just... it's way too much.
Well, it's similar to posting about it on social media.
That's fair. And, well, that'd be super shitty if she was posting on social media about it, too.
Oh, yeah. So memes about it.
People are sending you memes about your constipation.
Yeah, that's the modern take on it.
2 episodes in a row with a big buffet scene, big American-style buffet. And we hear Hank.
It must be prominent.
It must be prominent. And, of course, we hear Hank just order nothing but stuff that isn't going to help with his issue.
Oh, and Peggy trying to drug Hank. That's something that my wife would do to me.
If you refused to take your meds, she would make sure that you took them?
Yeah, oh yeah. One way or the other.
This is the scene that really messed me up as a kid.
I didn't notice that Cotton's feet were hanging there. Did you see that?
Yes, I did. Yeah, of course he can't. He's too short. And then everything about this scene is just surreal. It does a really good job in capturing what a dream is like.
Remember, early detection is the key. Now pass in your algebra homework.
Hank's really weird face. That is another thing that always stuck with me. Like, why does he look like a clown?
I think it's the post-mortem makeup. And I, for the longest time, because I watched this when I was about 3 years old, I thought that's what a funeral was. You got flushed into the ground.
Oh, man. That's so messed up.
And that I took with me for years.
But I, like you, took that scene in particular with me for years. I had nightmares of dying because I couldn't go, or dad dying and stuff like that. It was pretty traumatizing in this episode definitely stuck with you as a kid. Hank finally breaks down, and he's finally going to get a professional to look at his colon. And this is another similarity, I feel like, between Hank and our dad. Our dad is not a man who likes to go to the doctor for any reason.
This guy gives a really good doctor vibes, too.
He does, yeah. He is a very good doctor. And he seems like he's pretty serious. And I like that he takes Peggy seriously. And he's like, well, if she's worried about it, I'm worried about it, too.
I like how Peggy knows Hank's whole poop history, too.
I wonder if my wife knows my whole poop history.
Mine does. How awkward would this be with your wife? It wouldn't be awkward with me at all.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Take
Yeah,
my
no,
breath
no, I wouldn't. Yeah, I wouldn't care at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't relate to that.
Yeah, well, Hank is full of repression, right? Even the most minor amount of, he doesn't even like to wear shorts, right? He's uncomfortable with shorts because that's showing too much for him. According to Google, a sigmoidoscopy is a minimally invasive medical procedure that examines the lower part of the large intestine. So I guess a colonoscopy probably goes all the way up.
Okay.
Where the sigmoid is less invasive. Still, I am thankful that I've never had to have this procedure, have a camera shoved up my ass.
Oh, God.
That's not one. I'm sure at some point I probably will have one in my life, but it's not something I am looking forward to at all.
My wife had one.
Oh, God.
Yeah. That was an example of you being very stressed out for your spouses.
I would be so triggered at Bobby in that moment for bringing like the colonoscopy camera to my face. Dude, that's been in who knows how many people's asses. And you're putting it like an inch away from my face. Fuck off.
Hank calling the doctor out on misinformation.
Your father's intestine and lay it out in a straight line, it would go all the way around the earth.
Wow.
Now, how could that be? The Earth is 25,000 miles around. A piece of steak would have to shoot through your system faster than the speed of sound.
And now they're going to tell Hank that unless he can have a shit, they're basically going to remove his colon. Which, that's a rough go.
I can imagine.
I love the gag here that he goes into Soy to the World, and they have both tofu and fofu for people who don't like tofu.
Who don't think tofu is ethical?
Hank is very much so rejecting his new diet. He's rejecting all of these changes to his life. He doesn't want to make them. And they also set Hank up for failure here, right? Everybody is having ribs, where he's the only one with vegetables. If you want Hank to change, you guys got to be in solidarity with him.
Exactly.
And you can tell Hank is getting super stressed out about this. He's stressed out about the concept of having to poop. He's stressed out with the pressure Peggy's putting on him. He's stressed out with the pressure to change his diet and everything like that.
Losing his zest for life.
And ironically, that's probably making everything worse, right? All the stuff they're trying to do for him is making it worse because he's just getting more and more stressed out.
Yeah, no one poops when they're stressed.
If you're blocked up, stress isn't going to help you get unblocked.
No.
And poor Hank takes it hard, right? He blames himself and tells Peggy that he disappointed her by not being able to poop. So you could tell it's really eating him up.
Oh, this would kill me too.
Poor Hank, he's being so surveilled that Peggy is listening to hear something drops in the toilet. And then this is where we get the moment where Hank finally just reveals that I can't do this anymore. And I don't blame him. Changing your diet especially is really hard.
Silky and I watched this episode together and they choked us up, this scene.
Yeah. About him coming at clean as I'm just going to be who I am because that's who I am. She wants him to be that too because she didn't marry a bran eating,
salad eating
man
who can't go outside. And this is one of the only scenes where you see Hank cry.
The only person that he can show even the slightest bit of emotion to.
Yeah, it's always very touching when he does.
Yeah, when he finally gets the moment where he can let go. He kicks Bobby out. He needs to go so bad.
Everyone's waiting on bated breath.
I like the concept that it was the stress that was really holding him back, right? And once he finally let go of that stress, he was able to relieve himself.
And it ends. Cuts to black after Hank.
Cuts to black after Hank takes a shit. One of the only TV shows where you can get so excited about a main character taking a shit.
That was my last quote or my last note.
Oh, really?
Exact same point, yeah.
That's hilarious. And this ending scene is weird. I felt it's weird. It's where he pretends that he's an actor or something.
Yeah, I guess they're still finding their footing, maybe.
Yeah, they were just finding their footing at this point because nobody liked it must be, because they never brought back this concept again. This episode for me is my first, I'd say 10 out of 10. I love this episode thoroughly. I love the relationship that it explores with Peggy and Hank. I love how it's been so impactful on my life, both as an adult and a kid. I don't think there's a genuine bad thing I can say about it at all. And what about you, Mitch?
Hey, you took the words right out of my mouth. It goes beyond entertainment.
That's a great point. Yeah, this episode is beyond entertainment. This is a life-changing, life lesson kind of episode that you keep with you forever.
Exactly. There's just husband and wife about the taking care of yourself. It's so good. I can't say enough.
All right. So with that, we're going to wrap this one up. Thank you guys for watching. It's been Spence and Mitch, and we'll see you next time.
See you next time.
Goodbye, boy. See you in hell.